Thank you. My cheering section over there. Thank you guys for being here. You guys are a small but mighty crowd and very brave to be out in this heat. So I'm Maggie, and I'm a single mom.
Come on, Maggie.
Oh boy, I knew you guys were too happy to be parents. But you know what? It's hard being a parent. You have to pretend to enjoy all those things your kids enjoy, like kids' birthday parties, play dates, their father. But you know what? I do surprisingly well on dating apps, and I think it's because my profile says that I don't want kids. Then they find out it's because I have 4. I know 4 sounds like a lot, and it is, but I love being a mom. And you know what they say about having kids? It's a lot like making pancakes. First one's kind of fucked up. Probably should have thrown it away. You must be a first pancake, sir. But I think having kids is a lot more like eating pancakes. You always regret having your 4th one. In case you guys are wondering, none of my pancakes like that joke. Yeah. I have this theory that being a mom is a lot like buying a lottery ticket. You know, you always think it's going to pay off, but you just end up smoking cigarettes at a gas station. No, can't relate, huh? When you have 4 kids, everyone always thinks you have a favorite. And that is just ridiculous. I mean, I love all my children. I don't like any of them. But I love them all. Anyway, so my favorite son, Jackson, just moved back home with me. Yeah. He's 26, you know. And it's been great because it's made it so much easier for me to hit on his friends. Yeah. But you know what? We've gotten really close, you know. He shares a lot of things with me now. Like the other day he told me that every girl he's ever been with has asked him to choke her. And I was shocked. And I told one of my girlfriends about this, and she was like, well, did you tell him it was okay? And I was like, the choking part or the telling me about it part? Yeah, and you know, having an adult child live with you is a real role reversal. You know, at some point I've walked in on all my kids when they were teenagers, either having sex or masturbating. But the other day, my son Jackson walked in on me and my boyfriend, and I was so embarrassed because my sex swing was on backwards. Yeah, I mean, that's what you get when you're one of those psychos who knocks while you're entering, right? You know, I mean... but you know what, my parenting has evolved over the years. I mean, we used to sit down at the table and say grace, now we just say fuck it. Yeah, it's even changed the way I parent my older kids. Like my 20-year-old son, I used to be like, when are you gonna stop smoking weed? And now I'm like, when are you gonna come home with weed? He's so sweet. This last Mother's Day, he proudly presented me with a joint. He was like, it is my dream to get high with you. And I was like, aw, that is so sweet. It's my dream to have abs. Some dreams are just dreams, you know. You know, another thing that's changed, you know, really changed, is sex education. At the end of the last school year, I was driving my 13-year-old home from school, and she told me that her sex ed teacher taught them what a blowjob was, and even showed them pictures. And I was like, horrified. I mean, I think she needs to know where babies come from, but I don't think my 13-year-old needs to be contemplating whether to spit or swallow. When did Pornhub become required reading? I guess 12 in LA is like 30 anyplace else. I bought my daughter tickets to see Taylor Swift, and she sold them to go see Tony Robbins. That's my way of telling you guys I'm from Santa Monica. I actually did get her to go see Taylor Swift with me, and oh my God, those Swifties are really so nice and wholesome. I mean, normally if I took my kid to a concert, I'd worry about them getting roofied or ending up in a mosh pit. But with Taylor Swift, I was just worried we would lead born-again Christians. Speaking of cults, I am obsessed with cult documentaries. Do any of you guys like them? Yeah? Which one do you like? Holy Hell? The myriad of Scientology ones? I don't know. There's so many now. The woman who's turned blue? I don't know. There's some crazy ones. Yeah, there's so many cults. I mean, there's just cults all around us, especially in California, right? And I think I'm obsessed with them because a couple years ago, I was in a self-help group, which actually turned out to be a cult. But in my defense, I was at a very low point in my life. It's called a sexless marriage. And I had just gotten bangs. It's just not great. People always want to know if the cult I was in engaged in like crazy sex stuff. And unfortunately not. But they did engage in excruciatingly long hugs to the point I was like, just put it in already. But you know what? You guys better watch out. I mean, like I said, there are cults all around us. And like one of my girlfriends recently joined a group and she gives them all her money. She recruits her friends and she does backbreaking work for them. And I was like, babe, you're in a cult. And she's like, Maggie, it's CrossFit. Yeah, I have a theory. If you think you're in a cult, you don't think you're in a cult, you're probably in a cult. That was what happened to me. Yeah. But I'm recovered. Don't worry, you guys. It's really hot, and nothing is more excruciating than the heat in the summer, except for having my kids home, right? But even as excruciating is, there's one place I will not take them, and that's Disneyland. I have a confession. I hate Disneyland, you guys. And when you're a parent in Southern California and you don't like Disneyland, it's kind of like you're the Grinch or something, because Disney's like a spiritual journey for kids, right? That's why I tell my youngest that the park was in Massachusetts. That was great until she flunked geography. But you know what? I think the real reason I hate Disneyland is that the rides remind me of a map of all my failed relationships. Like, take the Splash Mountain ride. It reminds me of all my hookups. Never as wet as I thought I would be. And God, I wish there weren't any pictures. And the Small World ride, it reminds me of divorce, right? At the end of the day, it takes forever, and you're in the dark, stuck with a bunch of singing children. Yeah, I can still hear them. Can you guys hear them? It's a world of lawyers, a world of tears. It's a world of secrets and wasted years. There's so much that we share that it's time to beware. Why did I ask for full custody? Thank you. You didn't know you were getting impromptu karaoke today, right? Did you guys know they don't serve alcohol at Disneyland? You would if you were a parent. That's why they try to sell California Adventure as a separate theme park. But you guys, that is just a bar for grown-ups. So we would go there if there was just a tire swing and a keg. Thank you. This part of my set was brought to you by Knott's Berry Farm. They have booze because they only have Snoopy. Yeah, there you go. So what else to tell you guys? So I turned 50 this year, you guys. Yeah. And people are surprised that I don't lie about my age. But you know what? I like being 50. I'm like screaming from the rooftops. Now, if you tell me I look like I'm 50, I'll fucking fight you. But you know, one thing that does bum me out is I'm really tired of people telling me I should age gracefully. I mean, what does that even mean? I mean, I guess I'll just gracefully take myself to my next Botox appointment. Yeah, but one thing that's nice when you get to be this age is you're so comfortable with yourself that you don't really care about what other people think, right? Because you know what other people think is that you're a bitch. Yeah, that's a new joke. I guess it didn't. You don't see me as a bitch, right? I'm just not that bitchy, huh? No. Okay. Thank you. I appreciate it. I do. You can compliment me. Oh my goodness! I love you. Wow, that made me feel so good. I actually really enjoyed my birthday this year because I felt like I'm still young, I'm still vibrant, I'm still dating 26-year-olds, and my son has made it so much easier. Yeah, but you know what? It's a little sad dating younger guys because you always know there's an expiration date, right? Because they're bound to say something stupid, do something insensitive, get grounded. I'm sure you're familiar with that. But I try to be really romantic with these guys, so I write them all poetry. Now, it's always the same poem, but would you like to hear it? Yes. Roses are red, violets are blue, I'm twice your age, but I'll buy an Xbox for you. I have been a little concerned. I've bought 11 Xboxes this year. And none of them were for my children. But you know what else is good at this age is like your capacity for forgiveness, it really expands. Like with my parents, right? I'm able to forgive them for their mistakes and just accept them for who they are. Now that doesn't mean I want to talk to them on the phone or see them in person or go to their funeral. Wait, they're not dead yet, you guys. Yeah, parents are interesting. For 50 years I thought I had anxiety and I just needed to stop talking to my mom. It's hard with parents because as you see your parents age, it's kind of like looking into a crystal ball of your future, and mine is not looking so good. Because, I made the mistake of FaceTiming my mom the other day, and it was like watching an unedited episode of Hoarders. Yeah, that woman has never gotten rid of anything except for husbands. I guess the apple does not fall far from the tree, you guys. I've been married twice. Turns out you can actually get worse at something. Yeah, but divorce is not all that bad. My girlfriends and I talk about something we call the divorce diet. When one of us gets divorced, we lose 10 pounds, we look and feel so much better. But I don't think the same is true for men, because I don't think they have the same emotional support from their guy friends. I can't see guys sitting around being like, bro, she was totally dimming your light. Let's go on a cleanse and take a pole dancing class. Dude, it is so empowering. Yeah, I can't see it. Maybe you would say that to him though, right? Yeah, maybe. Oh boy. I know what I was going to tell you guys. When you become a mom, like nobody tells you that you're actually giving birth to your biggest critic. Like my kids critique dinner like Gordon Ramsay on Hell's Kitchen. They'll be like, this is shit, that's crap, and you look terrible. And that's when we go to Nobu, you guys. But I feel like it's really important to like lead by example and take the high road with them. For example, the other day my 13-year-old was like, you have a flat butt. And I was like, that may be true, but it's better than having a flat chest, bitch! Yeah, she's not a fan of that. But you know what, 13 is a hard age because they have the sweet innocence of a child, but also the biting venom of a teenager, and they switch on a dime. So that she came up to me the other day and she was like, Mommy, I love you so much, you're my best friend, but don't say anything because your breath smells like a dog's butthole. Yeah, oh, so sweet that age, right? Oh boy. So I'm not just a mom, I'm also a dog mom. Are there any crazy dog people here? Yeah? Have you ever had a dog birthday party? No, me neither. But I did give my Chihuahua a quinceañera. Yeah, as her adopted mom, I felt like I had to honor her heritage. But you know what, I actually think that my boyfriend is jealous of my dogs because I home cook all their meals, they always sleep in my bed, and I actually love them. But I don't just have dogs, I have 3 dogs and 3 cats, which means like I have a zoo. That's why I don't need a husband, I just have a hot veterinarian who wishes I would stop texting him at 2 in the morning. But you know what, since I have all these animals, I feel like I have the Brady Bunch in my house, right? I felt like we needed a theme song. Should I attempt to sing again, you guys? I don't know. At this age. Okay, you want to hear it? There was a story about a divorced lady who was bringing up 3 very cuddly dogs. All of them were little bitches like their mother, their youngest one a cunt. Till the one day when this lady met 3 kittens who were living out on the streets all by themselves. Now they're all sleeping in her bed together, and that's the way her sex life came right to a halt. It's all their fault. It's all their fault. You know, some days I think I'm just one bad day away from buying a dog stroller. Did I mention I turned 50 this year? Yes, I did, right? Another thing that happens when you get this age that I was kind of unprepared for, I'm not sure why, is your hormones go crazy. And my doctor actually prescribed testosterone, which is amazing, right? You guys have been really holding out on us. I mean, I feel like a teenage boy. I'm moody, I'm breaking out, I'm masturbating in socks. Yeah. And the testosterone had another added benefit. I lost a lot of weight. And, you know, people always think I'm on Ozempic. And I was like, that's ridiculous. I could never get my doctor to prescribe it. But you know what? It's so weird how people associate being thin with having your shit together. And people will be like, Maggie, you look so good. What have you been doing? And I'm like, having a midlife crisis. Because, you know, losing weight is great and all until you happen to get a glimpse of your naked butt in the mirror. And then it's a reason to never, ever do doggy style again. But you know what? It's not that I don't like my body. You know, I still feel sexy and all that. But it's hard not to compare your body to what it was like when you were younger. You know, like, my butt now is kind of like a bouncy house that's been at a kid's birthday party too long. It's sad, deflated, and you just know too many people have played with it. You guys look scared, which is why I know you're picturing my butt, you know. It's like, Jesus, Maggie. Oh boy, you know, being this, you know, a 50-year-old white lady, I kind of have issues with the term Karen, right? Because, you know what, anybody can be a Karen when their hormones go crazy. It's kind of like being a werewolf, but instead of howling at the moon, you know, you're yelling at a Starbucks employee, and the pharmacist at CVS, and the cute guy who parked too close to me, and my ex-husband and extended family, but not everyone. Okay, don't worry, not everyone. Don't worry, Amanda, it'll happen to you someday. She's like, I knew you were a Karen all along. I won't accept that. I won't accept it.
Is that your middle name?
No, it's not. It's bitch, remember? Right?
That's my first name.
That's your first name, my middle name. Oh, God. Oh, boy. So another thing that scares me about getting older is how older women's hands look, right? I think that really shows your age. And the other day, my mom sent me a picture of her hands, and they were so pale and veiny that for a second I thought I was looking at a dick pic. Speaking of dick pics, I haven't been getting enough of those lately. I bet you guys have a lot of dick pics, right? Right? Do you like them? You hate them? I don't. I like them. They don't turn me on, but they do cheer me up. Yeah. And I've seen some really creative ones, you guys. I've seen dicks photographed next to wine bottles and salad tongs. But by far my favorite was a dick photographed next to a bottle of Lysol. I was like, ooh, big and clean. Yeah, but since I haven't been getting enough dick pics, I like to give my number out at shows. It's probably the wrong place in Palm Springs. Like, you know, I'm probably barking up the wrong tree. But just in case, my number is 8675309. Do you guys know this number? Any of you old enough to know this number? Yes? Then you can sing with me, sir. You look like you can. 8675309. 8675309. I'll scroll through your dick pics while I drink my wine. 8675309. I don't really think your wife will mind. 8675309. Thank you guys for enduring my singing. You know, it's all that testosterone. Thank you. Send me your dick pics. Come to our shows. I'm Maggie Hyde. We produce a great show called Maggie's Mashup at Westside Comedy in Santa Monica with lots of great comedians. I love you guys. Stay cool. Palm Springs.